Alright everyone, today is the day. We're wrapping up our series of Fiction's Reality Ben 10 redesigns. With this, we'll have finally done Connor's 10 aliens from Fiction's Reality. And so today, we'll be finishing things off with Fasttrack, Frankenstrike, Bullfrag, and ending it all with Antigravitesla. If you guys have any more ideas for speed draws, please drop them in the comments below. I'm excited to see what ideas y'all have. While you're down there, subscribe and leave a like. It really does help out a ton. Okay, let's hop right in with our first alien, the Fast Cat himself, Fasttrack. Alright, y'all. I have a secret for you. I don't actually like Fasttrack all that much, which may or may not surprise you depending on how familiar with Ben 10 you are. But to be honest, I think Fasttrack is just kind of lame. His base design is so bad. What is this? He doesn't even look like a cat. He just looks like a bad, obscure speedster from DC, like Speed Streak or Surge or who the f is Liberty Bell? Anyway, I think Fasttrack is kind of lame in canon, so I wanted to give him a design that made him look good. So naturally, I leaned pretty hard into the cat aspects, giving him whiskers and proper ears, a pink nose, and a really nice cat tail, which on its own just makes the design a lot stronger, I think. I also gave him proper claws and stuff, which may be a little off from how Ben 10 aliens are usually designed, but I like how it looks, so fuck you. You may be thinking that the shirt-shorts combo looks a little off, especially compared to the other aliens I've done, which tend to lean more towards giving them a militaristic or army-esque look. But I thought about it, and it didn't really work that well for Fasttrack. Citricayas are on the slower end of the speed aliens, so they really can't afford to be slowed down by something like armor, which is what I went for in my original design. So I decided I'd give them something closer to what a professional runner would wear, which I actually think works pretty well. The idea is basically for them to overwhelm the opponent by speeding off and then speeding back and ripping them apart with their claws. I think that'd be neat. You may be wondering, if I don't like Fasttrack, then why is he on Connor's original 10? What's up with that? Well, that's actually kind of the point. I figured if the Omnitrix scrambled the aliens that Connor got, the chances of him getting all the aliens he wants is pretty slim. So he's got to get one or two quote-unquote duds. Besides, if I gave him Accelerate, then 60% of the aliens would be from the original series, and that's just too much. For reference, if I got to choose 10 aliens to be on my Omnitrix, it'd probably look something like Swampfire, Diamond Head, Big Chill, Wrath, Upgrade, Brainstorm, Gravitack, Humongosaur, Ultimate Echo, Clockwork. Which now that I say it out loud, almost none of those are from the original series. And also has almost none of my favorite aliens. Go figure. With this redesign, Fasttrack's actually really grown on me. Probably just because I love cats, though. Here's a picture of my cat, Barry. Ain't he beautiful? Anyway, that's Fasttrack! Alright, next up is Frankenstrike. Okay, so Frankenstrike was one of those ones that was a little more challenging. I didn't have a super strong idea of where I wanted to go with him, but I know I wanted to lean a little more into classics design rather than Omniverse's design, mostly because I think pretty much every alien looks the best in the series they were designed for. I also took quite a bit of inspiration from Dr. Victor's Ultimate Alien design for his metal parts, just because I think that just looks cool. No other reason. I also made his scars look like lightning bolts, because, he's a lightning alien. Thunder alien. Lightning. And the thunder. Thunder! His hair was actually a pretty big struggle for me for a while. I really wanted to make it white to some degree, but I didn't want to keep it blonde or make it black again, because neither of those really felt right. So I just kind of went in between, make it half brown and half white, inspired by some specific depictions of Dr. Frankenstein, namely how overly sarcastic Productions Red drew him at one point in her video on Frankenstein. Check it out, it's pretty good and pretty informative video. Anyway, a lot of the other alterations are minor things, like me playing with the colors of his skin or shifting the color of his lightning from green to yellow, things like that. Otherwise, his design is relatively simple. Yeah, y'all know the drill by now. That's Frankenstrike. It's alive! It's alive! Fuck. Okay. Next is Bullfrag. Okay, so real talk. With the whole shtick of my aliens having like more militaristic designs, it usually gives me a lot of wiggle room with like the ideas I go for, with the exception of Bullfrag, and pretty much Bullfrag specifically. He's easily the one I changed the least, not only from the last time I actually drew him, but also from canon. We've literally seen what Bullfrag looks like in an incursion uniform, because that's just what he looked like in his first appearance. It makes it so hard to talk about because so much of it is just completely explanatory just by looking at him. I took him, jammed him into an incursion battle uniform, and changed the colors around. I also removed the zipper because, I don't know, it looked weird. So, why don't we talk about while the speed draw runs in the background? So, The Legend of Zelda's representation of Smash kinda peeves me off a little. Seriously, look at this. We have 3 Links, 2 Zeldas, and Captain Falcon. Oh, I'm sorry. He's not a Captain Falcon clone anymore. He's a goddamn Ike clone. Ignoring the fact that the roster could be so much wider, including villains like Vaati or Skull Kid, or secondary protagonists that actually play different from fucking Link, like Midna or Tetra, the actual movesets for these characters are legit trash. What is this? We have Link, who's not terrible, I guess. He's the only one here who has a moveset that actually kind of represents what he can do, which, you know, it's nice. But a running theme in Zelda Smash characters tends to be their subpar final smashes, and Link is no different, apparently. Seriously, this dinky-ass arrow? Yeah, I know the ancient arrow is one of the strongest weapons in Zelda, but a lot of that hinges on the fact that it has, like, cool effects, and it can one-shot any enemy it hits. You take away the one-shot, and it's just a pretty strong arrow, which isn't a very good final smash. Why not have Link shoot the enemies with the arrow, which leads into like a cutscene final smash with the 4 divine beasts shooting the enemy with fucking lasers? If it's spoilers you're worried about, Smash has repeatedly shown on many occasions that it doesn't give 2 shits about spoilers. God! Zelda's not too bad. I mean, she can't really do anything she shows off in Smash, but whatever. It's vaguely mage-like, which is pretty much the role she plays in the series, so whatever. I want her to have some references, but that's whatever. Sheik, however, literally has 1 move based on the game she appeared in. Everything else is made-up ninja bullshit. Why not give her like a musical moveset based on like the songs you can learn on the ocarina, which she literally teaches you in game? That's her whole role, and it's just not here. Oh, and don't even get me started on the other 2 Links. Not only have they completely squandered their own moveset potential, but that could have been made up for if they'd have just had their own final smashes. Hell, I'll give you 5 for each! Toon Link could summon a pirate ship and smash it into you, summon the spirit train and smash it into you, do his fishing move he does against Ganondorf with him embedding the sword in the enemy's skull. He could have, I don't know, called upon Daphnes himself and had him drown you alive, or, you know, the one he really should have had, he could just pull out the Force Sword, split into 4 Links, and attack you from all angles. Rah! Young Link could yank the Master Sword from the ground and turn into his older self. I don't know what he'd do then, but it'd be cool. He could summon all the bosses from Majora's Mask and beat the shit out of you with them. Turn into all the different Links from Majora's Mask and beat you with them. Do the Hyrule Warriors thing where he like yanks the moon out of the sky and smashes it into stage. Or he could turn into the goddamn Fierce Deity. Get on the ultimate. And don't even get me started again. We're out of time. Oh, ooh, sweating. Well, that's Bullfrag. And this is it, the final alien of our Fictions Reality Redesign series, and possibly the one that's the most out of left field on the entire playlist. Antigravitesla's only appearance was in a Cartoon Network commercial promoting new episodes of Omniverse that were coming out at the time. These commercials essentially showed off useless aliens, such as Bob the Blob, who's a blob, and Plant Apocalypse, who is actually really powerful but can't control himself at all, and he took over the planet because he was just fucking hungry, which, you know, aspirations. Antigravitesla's power is that he can change the gravity of himself, and with a little bit of practice, nearby objects and stuff, which, if you didn't know, is actually really similar to Superboy's tactile telekinesis, which allows him some wild powers, such as like pseudo flight, the ability to lift almost anything regardless of the size, and some other neat powers that just kind of, this is off topic, but it's essentially how we're interpreting Antigravitesla's powers, a form of like gravity kinesis that extends to the other objects or like people he's touching. In terms of the design itself, I actually base his clothes on the 1880s-ish, around that area, style of US military uniforms, which is roughly the time that Nikola Tesla, which obviously is Antigrav's like main influence, was alive. This also allowed me to add some gold into the design too, which I actually think works really well. I also gave him a Connor certified classic steampunk-esque goggles, which are always cool, and I put them wherever I can. I even have a pair myself from like middle school because I was a dork, but you know, I like steampunk glasses, they're cool. I also gave him Frankenstrike's brown hair, which, like Frankenstrike, I think works better than the blonde I gave him before. He's pretty cool. I actually like him a lot, and I kind of wish he got used in the actual show, because I think that'd just be neat, but you know, whatever. And to be honest, that's all I've got to say. His design elements are a lot simpler than any of the others, considering he only has one look to base his design off of, and also because he's, you know, he's just a human with wilder hair and pointy ears. And that has been Antigravitesla. I hope you guys enjoyed this redesign series, and I know it was like for Fiction's Reality, but it's also been just like a lot of fun doing these designs. It's just, I love Ben 10. Ben 10 is really special to me, so being able to like design quote-unquote what I would look like in this fashion is really, really fun. I really enjoyed the whole process, and I hope you guys enjoyed too. Next time, I don't know what the next speed draw is going to be, but I'm thinking I switch gears a little and maybe pivot into some Dragon Ball stuff. Probably more DC and Marvel stuff too. Actually, I kind of have an idea. It's a lot less like a bunch of individual drawings, but like me working on one piece. And I'll see you later, guys.